Part of maturity is to understand the cycle of life. Say cycle of life. Cycle of life. When you enter this world, God has designed channels, families, where to present, where you will be born, who you are, who will carry you, who will bet you, who will bait you, who will feed you, and collectively the boat that brings you to reality and the people you commune with. You didn't have a decision on that. Please read your Bible again. Please, guys. Please, guys. Anybody that is having family dynamic stuff, go and read the stories of every family dynamic in the Bible. Because in those stories, you will set yourself free. Part of the challenge that many people have is that they are carrying to drag everybody they started life with into the future because of, I don't know, what story is that? Is your brother going where you're going? Is your sister going where you're going? Who told you? This is why I said this is tough. This is maturity. It's only mature. Go and read Esau and Jacob, David and his brothers, Joseph and his brothers. Go and read those stories again. Because I don't know who is scripting people's life that is holding them back, trying to nurse relationship that has a destiny distinct from you. Your family DNA, God decided whose the body DNA you will share, but your soul is not attached to any being. This is when we start getting into enmeshment, right? Many people are enmeshed in their past, so they can't go into their future with identity and relationship that was just meant to nurture you at the beginning of your life, but you want to carry it, right? Now, if they are LD for you, yes. But wisdom, there's energetic, as long as the energy those relationships are feeding you is not LD for you, they are taking you down. It's called enmeshment. Imagine if a mom says, oh, I carried a baby, and then refusing to cut the umbilical cord to set the child free into destiny. Jabez in the Bible, his mom said certain things. The mom has come and gone. But that vehicle spoke words into his programming. Jabez had to go and rewrite it. Go and read all the family dynamics in the Bible and see if that doesn't correspond to some of the real things happening in life. But I don't know what stories that people believe that is making you entangle your energy and your life force in things and conditions you cannot manage and people you don't have any control over. Everybody chooses who they want to be. Their metaphysical charge, their thoughts, their belief system, how they behave is their own decision. And if people haven't done this work and they are still negatively charged, they are coming to you. And if you are committing to do to do the work, you have to have wisdom. But part of the story that people are struggling with is a belief system that you also have a certain way this relationship ought to be, but it takes two to tango, right? It takes two to be in relationship. You came in with your story of younger sisters expect this of older sisters. True. She also has a script of older sisters expect younger sisters to behave a certain way. You disagree with her script. She disagrees with your script. There's no agreement. There's no relationship or LD relation. That's toxicity right there. If the script you are using and the script she's using, there's no alignment, there's no agreement, can two work together except they agree? If you're trying to force this thing, say that you both of you go to therapy. If this is a relationship truly that you want to keep around you, then do the work. But if God is telling you, Lot and Abraham, different destiny, your soul assignment are as own soul assignment, you are going different paths, then reconcile that differences in your heart and set her free. You actually have to set her free. You are entangled and enmeshed in her own energy, and she yours. So that energetic enmeshment, you have to deal with it because it's stealing your energy, is attached to her and you and hers to you. And so you are fighting each other energetically. So instead of you prioritizing your future and taking your energy for your future, these are the things that keep many people at a realm. And this thing you're describing, it could be parents, mom to daughter, daughters who say, my mom will do this, she didn't do this, how she did it to me, and then you are still enmeshed. That's one of the things in my school that I call, for parents, I say reparenting. This has things that clinically therapists use, because this stuff are real. This is metaphysical. How thoughts, experiences are stored in your memory, and they are fighting you and make you upset, and it's dysregulating you emotionally, and is using your energy to make you unwell physically. This is the power of your metaphysical, is that the thoughts and stories you're telling yourself about this person, that person, this person, they create serious pain, painful condition in your physiology. But if you want to be well, if you want to be whole, if you want to be happy, fulfilled, and free, you must change that script. With or without them. You don't even need them to change your script, because you can't control them. You can't make them do anything. You can't make them invest. You can't make them do anything, but you can make yourself be well. It's a great show. I'm on my way out to an event. Thank you. So, yes, and thanks for the conversation. You've brought this to life for sure. The power of what I'm sharing today. It's real. And I don't want to minimize it, because, we're talking business. Once you start going higher, and if you encounter somebody like your sister in a bus, because what then happens in manifestation is this dynamic entanglement, they tend to copy themselves in other relationship. I bet you, if I sit with you now and I ask you, what's your relationship with your boss? What's your relationship with your spouse? You will see that gap, that emotion, the emotion you embody by being hurt by your sister, the danger is it will be copied and pasted into other realities. Because once you are charged, like, somebody doesn't love me, somebody that I expect to love me does not love me, that's the script. Somebody that I expect to care for me did not care for me. Once you can charge your physical being like that, what happens is that charge creates magnetism. You may start attracting people that will treat you a certain way over and over and over and over and over and over again. That is the saddest thing, because the way you relate with her, you are likely to copy and paste it in other relationships that you endear, you love them, but they won't love you back the way you want to be loved. That charge, this is the danger of this thing. You do it once, it charges your entire frame. Remember, now your body feels a certain way towards your sister. Your mind says this is your sister, but now anybody in that kind of frame in your entire reality, bosses, spouses, business partners, that charge, because you are carrying your charge around. Remember, I said you are carrying your memories around. Whatever way you allow that to charge you up. Now you react anytime anybody talks a certain way, you react to. So other people will be talking that way, and you'll be reacting to them with the same script. You can be using it in other relationship, and you start seeing it everywhere. You said you are so right. I get triggered by my boss the way one of my parents triggered me. Yeah, ABC, like, even if it's not your sister, your parent, just look around you, your boss, other relationship, be aware. Because the principle of manifestation is you attract who you are. That's fundamental. And once you become, for example, a hungry person, an unforgiving person, right? Rebellious, like whatever. No, listen, guys, I'm trying to make this appeal and understandable. It doesn't matter who did what to you. Remember, I talked about emotions at the beginning. When it happened, it was their fault. But feelings, feelings become that story, what it is doing to your reality, to your being. Every time you see them, you are charging yourself up to do something. And anybody that comes to you closely, you would project that on that person. So the reason this is so important is that we need to be cleaning up. You ate garlic at night, you ate fish at night. That was last night. But in the morning when you wake up, if you don't brush your teeth, the leftover effects of what happened to you last night, when other people will start experiencing that breath. That's what I'm saying. The after effects of not dealing with this inner reality is that you are charged up to think a certain way about relationships. If people that look like her, behave like her, come close to you, you react immediately to them like that. It might not be your parents because you know your parents, but in the future, as you are achieving success, you become an employer, you can start employing people that will treat you that way. You will start seeing when we don't deal with these things. It's just like if you're a loving person, you will be attracting people who love you back. Because energetically, whatever you bring into the world, that's what you are rewarded for. But most of the time, the source of this trauma, the source of the dysregulation might be one person, but the effects of not cleaning up can be lasting. It's the enemy is always trying to hijack destiny, and this is one of those secrets. This is one of the ways it does it. It makes you dysregulated. Now you are hungry. Now you are this. Now you are that. Why? Because you are carrying those stories around. You polarize your energy and it turns you into a magnet. You keep attracting that reality. And this is why people keep on repeating the past. And so doing the work is not really about this person. Doing the inner work is not about this person. Doing the inner work is for yourself and your future. Forget them. If you don't want to see this kind of relationship in your future again, you have to develop the skills. Those are the things. That's what I teach in my school. That's why I'm so I insist that my student finish this class. Because soon enough, the person that wants to bless you with a contract, if the person just talks to you like your sister, shoo, your nervous system knows your memories. And part of that memory is if this happens, then this trigger. If one person can trigger you, 100 people will trigger you in the same way until you close that door. Until you close that door and you get your power back, you get your keys back. One of the ways I explain this thing is sometimes the key to your house, you gave it to somebody you were in relationship with. When you are not looking, that person can keep coming into your house and eating the food in your fridge. When you decide that you don't want to deal with that behavior anymore, because every time that person comes, they're taking your thing, it keeps repeating. You're supposed to take the key from that person. Now, if that person go and give other people the key to your heart, key to your life, they are giving the back door. The enemy will keep using that back door until you close it. Yes, the door may have been opened by one relationship. I'm repeating this. If this is one thing somebody hears today, the door to your heart may have been opened by a stranger. But if you don't close that door, rats can come in, rodents can come in, squirrels can come in, more danger comes in through that door. Your job is to close that door so you don't give access to anybody else. So this is not even about them. It's about closing the door of trauma and trigger so that you don't keep traumatized, so that other strangers won't use the back door to keep hijacking your energy. That's why this is important. So it's not even about this person or that person. Let them go. Close the door, move on with your life. Says, do you have a book on enmeshment? Can you recommend a book? What I have is an entire program that deals with not just this, but just your entire being, the human design classes. Right? And it's not just a book because I have other books on other topics. What I do is I teach. Why am I teaching? Because we need skills. We don't just need to know. We need to come back and learn our own wiring so that we can be stronger. And that stuff takes time. So there are several hours, about 7 hours. You can cover it in 2 weeks or even a week if you do 1 hour a day of those classes, the human design classes for self-actualization. So it's not just enmeshment. There are several skills, there are several things happening that we need power over. Because when you start dealing with more people, you're going to start seeing all kinds of insecurities. You see diabolical. Listen, do you want the truth? Do you want the truth? Yesterday I shared something at the top. The people rising in the world, there are two versions: the most wicked people and the most nicest people. Those are the only people that can fight their way to success. Most people are victims. Most people stay down. If you cannot fight, you just back off. Most people, most people disengage from life because you open yourself to judgment, to all kinds of insults, to all kinds of things. The day you rise up and you say you want to be all that God wants you to be, the only people that can endure this is people who have skills, this emotional resilience capacity, this strategic wise wisdom skills, not the school you went to, not the books you read. I'm talking about life human skills is how you rise up. And there are two people that I have seen in this reality that makes it true. People who are wicked, who will use other people, who will climb other people, who will step on other people because they are set on getting to the top. They are mean and nasty. And I have seen people who are broken, they allow God to do all the work and God promotes them. Those who promote themselves and the people God promotes, they are the two people that get to the top. Everybody else, they are victims and they hide, right? Because there are consequences to become great. And anybody that wants to be great must have emotional capacity. It's not books. You can be a professor. The day you want to enter higher domains, that's when people come for you. That's why the past can collide with your future. And if you don't have the tools to deal with that future in a productive way, Will Smith, you can be punching. He used to be punching people in the hood. Now he's okay, guys. Okay, drama. I'm better than Netflix. Do I have a book? I have a powerful resource that you're not going to find anywhere else in the world that fixes this thing. Human design. And it's not just enmeshment, there are many things I include. Say the body keeps the score. Needs to get my keys back. Yes, the body keeps the score. The body keeps the charge, the energetic charge. And you become a magnet because of your energetic charge. In the realms of possibility and prosperity, you attract who you are. And the enemy uses this all the time. You remember Joseph, when he got to the place, he had to do this work, he had to clean up. Joseph, once he got into the palace, he couldn't be telling a story, oh, my brother did this to me, and so I'm hungry, or Potiphar did this to me. And so, no, he cleaned up. Because those who want to receive destiny, you leave people alone, even including the people who hurt you. That's one of the secrets God has taught me. Can you imagine the president of a nation coming for everybody that has said bad things about him? That means he's jobless. He's forgotten what God hired him to do. That's what I'm trying to say. Focus on the God assignment and get rid of anything that is not your assignment. Things that are not your assignment is not your assignment. Lot was not Abraham's assignment. Agar was not Abraham's assignment. But if you keep dragging, oh, this nice, cute girl, and my cousin and this, you want to be dragging them into destiny, they pollute some things. Talk to God again. That's why I said only mature people can really dissect and discern these things I'm saying, because it's heavy stuff. It's heavy stuff, it's real stuff. These are the things holding people back. Energetic, the energy you're supposed to use to push yourself forward, you're using it to manage chaotic relationships, right? Insecurities, people, places, and in fact, the closer they are to your heart, the more access they have to your heart. And God is saying, guard your heart, guard your heart, guard your heart, guard your heart, because out of its issues of life, this is your manifestation. And the closer people are to you, you are opening your heart. The people you open your heart to are the ones that can hurt you the most. But God said, guard it. It takes wisdom to do this work. It's true. All kinds of business deals come with hijacking. Yes, yes, yes. The body keeps score and your energy charge. It doesn't matter who charged you. Listen, if somebody got you angry now and they come and they go, you are still steaming. You still carry the charge of anger. Now you are angry. The next person that was not part of that deal, you will unpack your anger on that person without knowing. So that charge, whoever charged you up negatively, that's what I'm saying. Deal with your charge. It doesn't matter who charged you. The enemy doesn't even care who charged you. He just wants you to derail yourself. He just wants you to self-sabotage. That's what he cares. He doesn't even care who. Listen, Peter was talking to Jesus. Jesus had to say, devil, get behind me. Because he uses the voices and the realities around you to try and get to you. Is somebody mature enough to understand what I'm saying? Whew, I've beaten this one. Somebody needed that, or a few people. Oh, can I share this one? Can I share this one? Okay. Hi guys, more people are coming in. Welcome, welcome. Listen, I saw you and passed by to say hello. Thank you. Okay, Dr. Claudine, she left. She came. Hi from. Okay, good, good, good. Thank you guys. Listen, this stuff is so real. I have my notes. I'm on number 6, but I've given time out to real stuff. Hey, greetings. Yes, yes. Please, thank you for everybody joining. Thank you for everybody joining. Yes, the body skips score, but your body is your body. Your body is yours. Remember, I said part of self-care, people teach you how to brush your teeth. People taught us how to clean up physically. The cleanup I'm talking about is energetic cleanup. Remember, I started at your metaphysical side, your information, how you process information through thinking, through words, through belief systems that influences your behavior and your actions. That system can be hijacked. Also, I said you have an energy system, how life flows inside you, emotion, energy in motion. Those two things govern your physical well-being emotionally. How energy flows through you, the type of energy you're releasing, also the chemical, it determines the chemical. Remember, we said stress hormone. There are stress hormones, there are happy hormones, there are this. If you exercise, you feel this way. Your feelings and experiences in the physical realm is governed by your thoughts and your energy. And those things hijack the influence, right? They can damage. This is disease originates from this thing. If you have a pattern of thinking and behavior, when this happen, you think this way. When this happen, you behave this way. You get angry, you get this. The chemical you are pouring into your physical being, your body, the chemical that you keep releasing, because you have a pattern of thinking. Because when people do this, then this. If people do that, then that's your programming. When you are triggered, then your tummy and then your heart and then you clench you are polarizing yourself. You are pouring chemicals into yourself. If you exercise, you give yourself endorphins, you give yourself feel good hormones. And if you are in a relationship that makes you angry, makes you this, you hurt yourself physically. When I say hurt yourself, part of why breath work is part of the therapy is that the air cooling, right? The cooling center is your breath. Because those chemicals, they create heat, right? Inflammation comes from these things. Inflammation comes from this thing. Part of why breaths work, right? If you've heard it before, it is that to cool yourself down because your energy is vibrating and it has been hijacked. These chemicals now get your energy agitating. You are vibrating at a realm that is dangerous. You know, it's like if you are in a nuclear plant, nuclear reactor, you're not supposed to be rushing. You're not supposed to be agitated because soon enough you can become combustive. Right? This negativity charges you up to a level that God will be saying red sign, warning, warning, warning. If you were in a nuclear plant, the siren will be going off. I've taught this in my school. Your emotions is an indicator of the thoughts you embody. If you are not well emotionally, deal with the thoughts because you are pouring chemicals into your being. Trust me, guys, I'm teaching you out of my own experience that God is teaching. I'm dishing this out to save somebody. You are creating a chemical condition that is making you sick and unwell. Physically, because breath works is that when you take breath, if you are sweating, right, you now have to cool down. It's like, let's count this energy. You have to bring your energy down to a level of coolness. And the most important thing that cools you out is peace. That's why Jesus is the Prince of Peace. He knows that the life force that he gave us, the enemy agitates it and makes you behave a certain way. And that energy can only be contained by peace. Peace. Jesus died for that. Because you didn't have control before. Peace is the ultimate container that can carry you safely through life. But as long as you say, oh, this isn't this, anxiety, you are a victim of your own imagination, because the thoughts and stories you are telling and painting is what is creating that crisis in your being. This is real stuff. Welcome. I thought we were wrapping up, but trust me, something just kicked in again. It's too important. It's too important for destiny. You see, you carry the life force God breathed into you. That stuff is potent. That stuff is creative. What the enemy intends is that he wants you to use your life force through your thinking to burn yourself up and burn yourself down. When God says the sin brought death, this is the death we are talking about. The fact that your own being can degenerate because of your thinking. The fact that you can release chemicals that are toxic to the wellness of God's creation. That's where sin is birthed. That's the whole point of sin. Because once your body is hijacked, you transfer that charge to somebody else. That person transfers it because somebody did something to you. You too do to them. Then everybody, all of us, the world, we are in relationship with one another through triggers, insecurities, arguments. What causes war among you? Jesus said it. What causes war among you? Whether within you, outside you, with other people, is this thing, insecurity. And there is a principle that I teach that is so deep. When you realize that the most precious side of you is your heart, you relate with God in your heart. Why? That is where your energy flows. You see, your thoughts, your mindset is a tool you are supposed to control. But if you don't control it, dysregulation. And part of the human design is that's the power. Your power is in what I'm saying. Self-control is in this. This is the zip code of self-control, the fruit of the spirit. Controlling yourself is controlling your thoughts, controlling where your energy, because that is what the enemy is going after, for you to self-sabotage, for you to start thinking in ways that degenerates you. People outside they don't even have to do anything. You do this to yourself by just lying down and thinking wrong thoughts. Let me tell you some of the thoughts. I wrote some of them out. You have to run away from. Whenever you think about what is not working, whenever your mind, because your mind does not filter out what is good for you or not good for you. Whatever you submit to it, it manifests. It just creates. And the first manifestation is the emotions that it processes and gives in your body. And it is a signal to your heart that this is what you said that you wanted. Here it is. Do you feel good? And then when it submits it to your heart is like, oh, anxiety, right? You don't like that feeling, but you manufactured it. It creates a cycle. And how you break that cycle is to take your power back and only give permission to thoughts that give you well, right? That makes you well. So don't think about, oh, this is not working. If you say this is not working because you're a creator and you're a force over your own life, you have authority over your own life. Guess what your mind will say? She said it is not working. Let's make sure it doesn't work. It creates, your mind doesn't interpret negativity well because it wasn't designed. God didn't give you a mind to produce negativity. He didn't code it. It's a your mind. Listen, if God created a mind that works like him, It just does whatever it tells you to do. That's the mind you have. Your mind does not question you. It doesn't, it always wants you to be right. Whatever you say, this is my reality. You say, yes, sir, yes, ma'am. Let's make it a reality. Vom, 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 vom. Let's cook the food. So whatever food your mind cooks, you will eat it in your emotions. I'm using that. You will experience it in your emotion. And it's trying to say you, oh, you said you wanted this. Is this how, does it feel good? Because you are the one to decide whether you feel good or not. Your mind doesn't care. How it cares is to say, mind, stop that. I don't like that. And your mind will say, sorry, sorry. Okay, what did you say you want? So you are the one programming and feeding your mind. Do a good job. Okay, what you don't like. When you start saying, I don't like this person, you will feel it in your body, your reactions. That's why I say, don't react, don't even respond, just listen. Gather enough, because when you just say, try this, test this out, I don't like that, you will realize that you will encode a feeling towards that thing that makes you move away from that thing. That's how this programming works. Your instruction is, I don't like blue. The moment you say, I don't like blue, your system stores it. And anytime you see blue, it will tell you, move away, blue is coming. Blue is coming. It will remind you, you said you don't like blue. So we're not going to give you blue. We're going to move you away from blue. Magnetism. If you say you like filet mignon, your mind will be reminding you to go and spend your money. Let's go for dinner. Every day you're thinking about filet mignon and it's making you feel good. Your mind will say, let's eat filet mignon. If you say you like red shoes, you'll be seeing red shoes everywhere. Yeah, you like white cars, you'll be seeing white cars everywhere. So your mind gives you whatever you say you don't like, and it gives you what you say you like. Do you see how negativity is? You will think that saying you don't like means something else, but I'm telling you, the coding, the human design coding is that it will give you what you don't like, it will make you avoid it. And what you do like, it will attract, it will call your attention to it and call its attention to you. It will call your attention. Now, let's say you don't like people treating you this way. It will be proving you right. And you'll be triggered and triggered and triggered and new triggered. And part of the most powerful thing you can ever do with all of this trigger is to be neutral, to be unmoved. To be unmoved is the safest thing. And that's where list again. But to only be attaching your energy to the things you want, that's the solution. When you say you don't want, these are the negative programming that you are using your words and your thoughts to create. Because your body would say, I don't want. And that chemical will release it to the body, because your body is the person, is the version of you that would live out the reality of your programming. You are not your mind, but your mind is gifted to you to send signal into the physical realm of how you want to be, who you want to be, what you want to experience. I'm trying to finish. Anything still, I'm dropping the ones I think I've beaten down. This one in prosperity. What you say you don't have. How will your mind reply to that? You don't have time. You don't have money. You will start seeing time disappear. Everything you say you don't have, you release it. It's like you delete, you programmed your internal being and say zero. If there's a balance sheet in your being, debit, and you are the one deleting your file. And whatever you delete in your file, you delete it externally. Whatever you say you don't have internally, your mind will waste it publicly, physically. When you say you don't have time, trust me, your being, your physical being will be behaving timeless. Like there's no time. And you'll be saying there's no time, there's no time, there's no time. But you started it because you believe there's no time. When you say no money, guys, all things are possible to them that believe. This principle works both ways. That's why we have to be careful. You have to be saying, let the rich, right? Let the poor say, I am rich. You remember that song? Let the poor say I'm rich. Let the weak say I'm strong because of what the Lord has done. These are manifestation principles because of the creative power you have within you. You're supposed to be using it and your words to speak of what you want, not what you don't want. Because whatever you speak and say you don't have, you are saying, get rid of it. You don't have it. Your mind, you may not know. That's why knowledge is not an excuse. This thing works the way it works. When you say no, your mouth will say no. Your body will say no. You start resisting it. So this programming is where the enemy has been using to hijack. That's why you have to understand this thing. This is the weapon. This is the most powerful thing the enemy uses: your own mouth, your own thoughts, your own belief system. It will get you, it will show you something that you're supposed to not respond to, but you respond to it not knowing. Because you respond to it, you stored it in your memory, and then your mind will create it, and then it will be true. Something that is not true. As long as you keep things outside of your being, that is the best thing you can do. Not to embody those thoughts. There are more advanced things. I'm not going to talk about those things today. Advanced skills that you have to be practicing if you want to quantum leap. Very, very advanced. But I'm just telling you, the minimum thing you can do right now is to speak to yourself and to think thoughts in specific ways, knowing that whatever you say, your mind is interpreting it as what you want it to create. It's going to create what you're thinking, what you're believing, and that's your manifestation. At the level of your thoughts is your manifestation. And so suddenly, when you realize this thing, you're supposed to stand. Now you understand, guard your heart, renew your mind, because those two things, right? Your metaphysical forces, they're the one releasing hormones, abilities, conditions that your body is experiencing. Minute by minute, hour by hour. Right? You are manifesting. The first manifestation is your emotions, emotion, energy in motion, your energetic charge. The person you become physically determines what you embody and who you attract. And there are certain vibrations, right? If you're continuing, like there are certain things, anger, jealousy, things that get you thinking and behaving a certain way, they keep you down, right? They keep you manifesting at the level of that vibration because your words and your thoughts agitate your energy into creativity. Your energy doesn't create anything until you give it instruction. Just like that's how God works. The Spirit of the Lord was upright. When the Lord speaks, right? Great, then the life force that makes God's word be true. That's how you are designed as well. Is that you have a creative being that waits and listens to you, and whatever you say, its job is not to question you, its job is to obey you. And all the enemy now has to do is to be writing a script that you are believing and you are manifesting. But trust me, God has also written a script for you. That's when you live in the spirit. If you want to manifest the abundant life, the only way you manifest the abundant life is to go and collect the scripts that you will use to manufacture that abundant life. You create your own, you have your own productive, creative capacity. Remember the blessing in the Bible: be fruitful, multiply it, replenish it, right? Subdue the earth. All of the factory that will help you be fruitful, that will help you multiply, that will help you replenish, that will help you go all over the earth. Where did God put it? He didn't put it outside of you. It is living inside of you. When God says, he said, I have endowed you with the ability to be fruitful, to bear fruits, to be productive, right? When God created a seed, a small seed, inside that seed, there is a tree inside that seed, and on that tree there are fruits, more fruits, and each of those fruits have many seed, and each of the seed have trees inside them, and each of the tree has fruits, and each of the fruits have many seeds, and each of the seeds have this is the generational blessing that God puts us inside each other. Your fruitfulness is encoded inside you. Your production is encoded inside you. The life force through which you will bet your greatness is inside you, is not outside you. What I'm sharing with you today is hone your own power. Don't use that power. Don't let the enemy hijack that power for you to be creating chaotic experiences for yourself and other people you are doing life with. But use it to create beautiful experiences for yourself and other people. That's your assignment. Beautiful thinking, beautiful life. Ugly thinking, ugly life. Chaotic thinking, chaotic life. That's how it works. If you don't like what's around you, the relationships you are in, just check what's going on inside you. You are the one creating it. Hot, hot. This is hot. Very, very hot. It's gone. I've just let this go. I've let this go because sometimes God just has a just let God do what he wants to do. Just let him do what he wants to do. Can't wait to hear Amen. Oh, it's been a while, Amen. You've changed your picture. I didn't know that was you. Either welcome as well. Anybody that wants to join the stage. This is hot. You see, the traditional school system, you know what it's going. Okay, Emma, you're here on stage. How are you? How have you been?
I've been great. I've been great. And you?
Wonderful. Wonderful. So let me quickly share this thing and then we'll open it up and then wrap up. There's a lot going on, right? So the traditional school system, education, let's go to the power of education. That system was not created to empower you energetically, your emotions, right? Spiritually, intellectually. What it did, it was in service to the industrial era, the industries, and the government and the industries came together to design, right, the education traditional system. The industries need certain types of employees to power itself. The government doesn't want people depending on themselves. And together, in the last 50 plus years, right, the traditional education system emerged from an era that needed specific employees to be trained with specific skills to be useful and employed by the industries. Listen, we've come of an age now where you must prioritize creating your own economy and self-actualization. You have to realize that the limitations you are feeling, all of this dysregulation, is because you don't have the skills. You were never given the skills to be fully well. Can we be honest? Do you want the truth? Nobody was talking about your wellness, your emotions, your spirituality, your power, your divine nature, right? Self-actualization was not the goal of your degrees and degrees. It was to help you get a job and survive and depend on the industries. We've come today to an era where people feel limited, feel disempowered. It's because your entire power was not given to you. Your creative power, your productive power that God assigned you, you have to mature into it. So whose job is it to train you to take your power back so you set yourself free? Listen, many people are chasing money. The biggest wealth today is your own freedom, intellectual freedom, emotional freedom, spiritual freedom, physical freedom. Because we've entered a time today where the whole world is being designed not for humans to be well. Please, guys, because there are many things that will come out of this stage that people will look back in the future and shake their head at. Why did we allow these things to be? Why did we create more sickness? And the sickness now is not the one you can walk into an hospital and point your hand to and say you have a physical wound. The mental mind, your mind and your heart, anxiety, depression, this thing is because it's getting more intense. Why? Because we are now exposing our minds to a realm that we were never designed for. We weren't designed to be perpetually consuming the volume of content people are consuming, to be exposed to the whole world. You're exposing your entire mind to the entire world for programming. Everybody's programming you. News media is programming you every second. Hey, this, hey, Trump, this, do, da. And your mind is the one agitated. And suddenly now, anxiety is on a rise because every word is a vibration. It is encoded as a vibration. And if you tune your voice to agitation, this, news, Russia, this, you don't know. Once you open your mind to those things, your energy will manifest the emotional dysregulation created by those words. There are words that will make you well. There are words that will be thrown, that is being thrown every single day to agitate people because of likes and clicks. Because people are making money when you like, when you see, right? Other people have built wealth out of what will make other people sick. You can't control them, but you can control yourself. Bible says at the end times, right? People's hearts. That's what the enemy always goes after. You think it's just, oh, you're skipping and you're just laughing at TikTok. Suddenly, after you close all of this, and you put your head on the pillow at night. Now you feel depressed. You don't know which thoughts you consumed has reprogrammed your reality, and now it's taking you down. Your mind and your energy belongs to you. But if you give it away for free and you allow other people to hijack your mind and your energy and use it to make money and manifest their own millions and billions of dollars because of listen, emotion is what runs and powers economies, businesses. Was it yesterday I taught a class in my school, Academy. Join us if you're a business owner, right? Where I talk about energize your business, right? Is that for me as example, every person is selling something. I'm selling freedom. Anytime you encounter me, when you walk away, I pray my own focus, my own contribution to the world is that you be well, emotionally well. Because knowledge is your power. The things I'm teaching you will be setting you free. Anybody that experiences my school, right, my classes, my intention behind the classes and courses, why I'm focused on this mission is that God has greatness for people, but you need to release your power. So you are going to feel more powerful every time you encounter me by design. You are going to feel more intelligent, you'll be setting yourself free. You'll be washing yourself. You'll be arising. Quantum leap, quantum leap. That's the promise of my school, the Quantum Leap Academy. Empowering yourself to own your own economy, own your own, but you must own your mind and heart for you to manifest prosperity. If you don't own your heart, you don't own your mind, you don't own your body, somebody else, you are manifesting for somebody else. That's why this work is important. So I'm just giving you as an example that my program is energized to get you excited about your life, your future, empowered, equipped, that you can do all things by design. So if you come to my school, that is what I'm offering. Freedom to think, freedom, because we are created as free beings, but we've been caged. You feel it. You know what I'm saying? The only people that set themselves free are the ones that make the most money, rule the world, on and on and on. I won't go into that today. Create an awareness. Your mind and energy is yours, but you can give it away for cheap. Just like that. And then you'll be saying, you don't have time, you don't have this. And God is saying, go here. You're like, because it has been hijacked by so many things. So for me, I don't even try to understand, okay, there are so many stories I've heard. All I've done is to create the human design classes. Just learn how to control yourself, hone your mind, understand your programming, develop all kinds of skills so that you can navigate life. You see, when you want to drive on the highway as a child, they don't just tell you to drive, they teach you how to drive. You are in the highway of life where people can be colliding with you, insulting you, accusing you, turning you. How do you still make sure you arrive at the destination God wants you to arrive and you don't give up? That you win. Don't you mess with the academy. So I'm wrapping up. Listen, I'm trying to do justice to everything I wanted to share, answer any questions, right? My school is there because we have a mission. There's a your self-actualization. The world as it's like if you look at the Maslow's hierarchy of need, the school system puts you at the bottom. You can earn a living, food, clothing, shelter. But where God wants you to be is the top. How often do you do lives? So grateful I joined. Yes, go join my YouTube and then join the school. The school is layered with everything you need, okay, for all of this work. When I come, I do this when I'm available. I'm gonna be traveling, so I've been doing so much more than I typically do in the last 2 weeks because I have I'm not gonna be available. But I'll tell you where you can access everything because I'm involved in so many other things. So Eme, I think I'm done. I think I've done justice. I've beaten this thing down. For me, I help my clients, my students, really, when it comes to growing their influence, growing their power, growing their wealth, right? Internationally, domestically, everything that I do. When I just say quantum leap, we care about your well being, your physical well being, your emotional well being, your intellectual well being, your spiritual well being. You see me talk about Christian principles because there are many, many things. If you don't grow spiritually, energetically, phew, you can't fight those things. I've told you, groups of people get to the top. They are both fighters. Anybody that cannot fight, when I say fight, the inner battles, right? Will when you come, when you attain peace within you, you will see peace external. Nobody will hijack your power anymore. So let me just open it up. Ame, any reactions? I know you came not too long ago, but thoughts, reactions. I have all these notes all over. I think I'm done for today. Thank you so much. Go ahead, please.
I mean, it was just powerful. I mean, even, I guess I may have caught I did just notice that you were on for longer, but it felt like you just started in that 15 minutes. It was so much information, and then it was just so in line with everything that I've been consuming over the last few days. I'm actually reading a book called Creative Visualization, and trying, making sure that I'm putting the right things into my mind. I'm making sure that I'm affirming certain things in my mind while I do the work, of course, as well. So to come in and then you kind of like just,
Smacked you,
bring
smacked you. I just smacked you. Boop, boop, boop. I know Emma, by the way, guys. I know him, right? I know him. I'm talking to people I know, so don't think like I'm not talking to strangers. So go on, sorry.
Yeah, no problem. But just for me to come in and then for you to be talking on that, speaking on that frequency is just it just lets me know that I'm on the right path. And I just want to say I appreciate you so much. Like what you're doing is just so ahead of your time.
Mm.
I think, but yeah, and I think listen, but I'm definitely going to be rejoining this academy. So, but let me ask you this: one-on-one coaching,
Yes.
does any of these packages include one like any
Yes,
one-on-one
yes,
coaching?
yes. Actually,
Okay.
we I do one-on-ones with the level 3 members, right? So the school is available, right? And a lot of the programming, people are busy. So we do group coaching, and then there's a lot of self-service work there with support, right? And then the level 3 members, we set up one-on-one, right? Like one of my students this earlier this week gave me a presentation of a business structuring, right? Because when we meet, we've had like 3 meetings over the last couple of months where I try to steer them and guide them, and then but I always encourage people to take responsibility. So she gave me a presentation of, okay, this is my vision, this is my mission, this is my business. So really just business structuring from scratch. But before I answer that question, why that is important, okay? The presentation she gave, for example, in order for people to unpack their own ideas, you have to actually energize your own idea. You have to believe. And many people are throwing their ideas or minimizing their ideas. So, all of this program is that the things you are going to bet, the courage to even give me a presentation, right? And then for me to give feedback and say, okay, structure it this way. In fact, one of the advice was this is ready for government. You can actually, you need to have government as a client. And she was like, whoa. I said, yes, go to your local government, tell them you can partner with them, you can do this deal. And she was like, whoa, that's what's part of the work we do. But I know that if I give people assignments, do this, do this, do this, and you're like, oh, I don't have time. Oh, my mother is the. People don't have the power to unpack their own wealth. So this is a support. This is a supporting material for wealth builders. Do the inner work, get your power back, set people free, leave people alone. Don't be using your energy to be controlling things you cannot control. The one area you need to focus on, your future, your legacy, your impact. You need all the energy. Listen, greatness needs all of you so that you can do this work. So that's why this program, it's emerged out of people feeling they don't have time, they don't have power, they don't have this. I'm like, what is stealing you away from your future? And you will start seeing is that we are not trained to understand our human design, right? And because of that, not knowing that knowledge of yourself, not discovering yourself, is that people are living a life that is beneath their own reality. So I won't talk too much about that. So yes, level 3 carries that. And you know me, Ame. No, Ame and I have worked together. The prices keeps going up. Why? Because it's at the entry level stages right now. The things I'm talking about that I teach are thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. But right now, through the academy, I've put it at a price where anybody can actually access it if they're serious, if they really want to. But if their mind is still saying, oh, I don't want to pay this, that is still the mind that is hijacking your resources, that is still sending it to Gucci bag, shoe bag. Nothing wrong with design. You will see me, I splurge. I love my luxury life. I do that. But please, the most luxurious thing you can invest in is your mind and your well-being. Anybody that values material things more than this work I'm talking about, you've missed it. I'm very direct. I'm very fierce. I work with the people that actually own the entire factory that produce these things, these material things. We produce things that when I sit around, we are talking about millions of dollars in investing in production capacity, not $50, not 100, like to sell, to distribute. So I will call you out to say the most luxurious, wealthiest, valuable side of you is not your shoe and your handbag or the house. It is your mind, your heart, your body. That is the most wealthiest thing you have. That is where wealth domain, the zip code of wealth is inside you, welling up to eternal life. You are the wealth. You carry the wealth. You carry destiny. You carry the power to prosper. It's you. But the world has programmed you to see your shoe as more important than you. And guess what? The mind will continue to throw thousands of dollars to Gucci. But when I say join my academy, guess what that mind will say? You know it. You'll give it to Netflix easily because you've been programmed. That's part of the programming of the society, right? Consumerism is a program. What I'm trying to tell you too is be a productive member of the society, and producers invest. Consumers consume, producers invest. So when consumers that have been programmed to say, oh, shoe, Gucci, you're carrying other people's names, instead of people carrying your name, I have my own name brands. I have lipstick brands. I'm not talking to you about lipstick right now. It's easy to sell consumer because the world has been programmed. If I just tell you I have my own trademark of brands, but that's not what I'm talking about now. It's easy to tell you lipsticks, lotions, and potions because you've been programmed to value those things. I don't have to spend an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours preaching to you to look good, to use lipstick, let your brows be fit. No. But what is happening is part of the hijack is the devaluing of the human, the devaluing of self. They devalue you, and then they tell you for you to raise your value, you need a cloth. You need this. I work with nations. Nigeria is one of the top luxury producers of leather goods from cows. We